Here's 5 things I wish I knew before hitting Immortal. If I could go back in time, what tips would I tell myself when I just started playing? Practice aim more, blame teammates less, watch Coach Key sooner. Well, good afternoon. I am a Valorant coach. I've coached over 1,000 students and played since beta, reaching top 600. Here are 5 tips I wish I knew before I started playing Valorant. Number 1 is the 2-shot strafe. This is the bread and butter of mechanics. It's something I teach to all my students. This fighting style is it. You don't need anything else. It dominates in lower elo, it crushes in mid elo, and it even helps carry in fights in high elo. What is it? The 2-shot strafe, or as I like to call it, the 2-shot slayer, is the maximum output that you can get in Valorant. First, if you haven't already, go into your video settings, go all the way right to stats, scroll all the way down, turn on graph only for this. This will show you the movement error. This is really important for the 2-shot strafe when you practice doing it, because the 2-shot strafe pushes Valorant's mechanics to their limits. It's how fast you can possibly shoot while moving the most, right? You're supposed to stop and shoot in Valorant. And so if you ever make a mistake, you see that little blue bar come up, as long as you don't bring up that blue bar, you are golden. I would start first off learning dead zoning. This is what I teach all my students. Being able to completely move. You look at my keyboard overlay. I'm not stopping a single time. I'm either pressing A or D and getting the timing down where I can still move accurately. This is a 1 bullet window. If I try to shoot 2, you will see there's always one that gets movement error or firing error. Actually, it's just movement error. Number 2, accept bad teammates. Bad teammates are a part of Valorant, and the sooner I could learn to accept that there will always be a teammate who doesn't listen, who's toxic, who does something I don't think they should do, it would take me away from choosing to blame them and instead adapting to them. I was gonna make a video on this a long time ago, and I collected a bunch of clips. This is over 70 clips of something involving my teammates, probably more like 50 involving bad teammates, and each one shows my teammate doing something absolutely stupid, brain dead, that you would never expect. And keep in mind, most of these clips are gonna be in high-ranking lobbies, Immortal, Ascendant, even some Radiant. So here's my teammate mollying my here's so here's an example. My Reyna double flashes onto site with an op and runs straight into a molly and then shoots a decoy. What is this player doing? Here's another clip. Now, coincidentally, it's a random player again. Okay, I can't make this up. These players are completely clueless. I have 3 teammates looking at my trip flank right now. Why? And I know someone in the comment section is already typing, because they have a Viper. Oh, Raze could double satchel over. Like, you guys are brain dead. You guys probably play right now. If you're thinking that and you're typing that right now. Look at this. It's unbelievable. Look, she peeks deeper into the trip like she's gonna find something. Also, our Viper who just said, guys, let's not peek out on my walls dropping, no one peek, just peeked into an op. Well done, Viper. Well done. And if you think that's bad, watch 2 of my teammates sit inside a Killjoy ult for 12 minutes like something was gonna happen and both get detained. Just watch this. Look at the minimap. What is the plan here? What? Yeah, let's run back into site. That's definitely going to be safer. Yeah, let's cage under heaven. They're not going to expect a player to be inside the cage, popped right as soon as the Killjoy ult goes off. You're a genius, bro. Completely genius. Also, check out my STD. Hey, you asked for it, not me. STD is a private community for players who actually want to get better. Join us during live coaching seminars, community coaching sessions, and unlock over 100 exclusive resources to improve faster than ever before. The limited spots are now available, so visit Slayerkey.com. This sounds like something for you. Otherwise, enjoy the video. And let's not forget the tried and true, the whiffed of all whiffs. Yep. Did we win this round? Nope. Now I have plenty more clips where that came from, but I hope that emphasizes the point that this happens no matter what. And so when it comes to improvement and getting better at the game, you focus on what you can do. So let me give you some examples of what it looks like to play off your teammates. So me and my Yoru are flanking here. They don't know we're flank. Oh wait, yes they do. Alarm bot was here. But how many do they think are flank? I shoot the alarm bot. We walk up flank. My Yoru gets killed. I'm like, oh, he got killed. She only saw 1, right? My teammate's dead. He's an idiot. I get to kill the Killjoy for free. I come up flank, I break the Killjoy ult, and look at my teammates' positioning. Now, dumb player here would be like, oh my god, no, my teammates are on site? What are they doing? Stupid rotate timing idiots? What you want to think is, how long do I have to wait? Is there a rush for the situation? Nope, bomb isn't planted. Are they going to probably rotate here eventually? I would assume so. Maybe I can help my Sage secure the result. Maybe that's actually what she's going for. Maybe I'm just coping hard.
Oh, you're
so
okay, awesome.
We help the res go off, right? You see, we swing this with our team in case they wanted to contest long for the Sage ult, and then we go back here. And again, it's the same exact thing. Is my Sova ready to come outside, or are my teammates ready to come outside? Here, my Yoru leaves to go long. Well done, Yoru. And so I'm here to play with my Sage. And again, I'm just trying to wait for everyone to be ready, right? Just sitting outside the smoke, letting people cook. Now my Sova runs in, dies. That's okay. We couldn't have helped him. My Sage runs in. She gets killed by 2, and it's the same exact situation. She dies. Do they know there's another here? No, not really. And so I want to wait for something because there's no way I'm going to peek into these 2 players with no flashes or anything and live. You can also see on the minimap these 2 players are looking towards here. You see this little arrow right here? It's a little sign. So you just sit and wait. Wait for my Yoru here to come up.
2 there.
I see the Astra fighting him. When one player fights someone and there's a person next to them, right? The teammate's going to want to help him. But we swing out. He actually wins that fight with the Astra, and the Rain is looking away, so I get a free kill on her. And then Raze is looking over here, fighting my Yoru. I have a timing to capitalize off of it. Catch her with her nade out, and now she's midless and bloodless, I guess. So that's one way you can play off your teammates, not even being really next to them, but just playing around the attention that they draw away from you. Here's another example I thought was cool. The Astra walls heaven and calls to the Jet that both of them jump up heaven and line up. 3, 2, 1. And look at these dumb Freyna mains. Just what are you looking at, buddy? What are you looking at? Here's another example of something you can do. Now, Judge Hookah, we've all seen it. We've all been there. We all hate playing against it. But I call to my Reyna here to bail for me. You know, Reynas are stupid. They just want to fight. They have half a brain cell and it's barely chugging along. Coming up, Hookah. And so this guy starts to dog in. Deadlock starts to ult. Reyna throws a flash, breaks that flash. I get spotted, but it's too late because I'm already right here. And bada bing, bada boom. That's a 3k into a round that was very much of a coin flip. Now it's very much winnable. That's how you play for teammates. And it's not just about improvement too. It's about focus. So my genius Clove here decided to ult into 3 enemies. 2 in front of her, 1 behind. Well played, Clove. Yeah, let's see where you're gonna go. Oh, I don't even think there was a single frame you were alive there. That's okay.
Spike planted.
And what happens when you pay attention to this stuff is you tend to get tilted, you tend to be distracted mentally, and that'll stop you from actually, you could say performing your best, but really it's being attentive to the environment around you. So now when you come out B, right, you throw a piece of utility, we mess up our flash here, your brain scatters. You're like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I messed up my flash. I'm supposed to be the best Gecko man. I'm Pepper Spartan, Gecko man 1, 2, 3. Now when we clear sight, we just run straight out with our crosshair. Immortal buddy, by the way. Immortal buddy, by the way. Immortal buddy, by the way. And then we just peek into an enemy. Make sure you gather your bearing. So being locked in is important, diverting your attention back to the moment. Even if you take a second here after you make a mistake or a teammate makes a mistake, it's incredibly important. So Gecko makes this mistake and then the Jet's like, what are you doing? Pick it up. Pick it up. Go again. And then the Jet does the same exact thing. Look where it crossed it. Literally in the middle of the open. Just get shot. What are you doing? So don't let yourself get distracted by teammates. Next up is understanding your main objective on defense and attack. Most people would say defenders stop people from getting on site and attackers try to get on site, but it's not really what it is. Defenders actually play to figure out where the attackers are. You're talking about multiple different lanes. On Ascent, there's 4, some maps there's 5, where the enemies can come through. So when you're playing defense, you're trying to figure out which lane actually needs your attention. I covered this in why Radiants don't need intel to find you. But it's basically, hey, let's look at the minimap and see where people are. Cypher as it can be. Are there any players actually B? And so there's the Jet. What players are we missing being B? This can help you decide, you know, we don't actually have anyone looking at A right now. We have 3 people looking at mid. And there's no intel being gathered there. So right now I would say like maybe it's A or maybe it's B. And as a defender, that means we did a good job. If we translate that to Ascent, it basically just means they can't be mid. So we can check both those places off and then we can prioritize this one. This is why in this situation, you would see I go more aggressive for A intel and see if there's a player there just to discover if this intel we got here is accurate and if it wasn't. So your main job on defense is to poke around for intel, see where the players are most spotted, right? If you see 4 players towards A, it's probably an A hit, but what most players don't do is think about where's the 1 player. On Ascent, I always make sure to clear cat, make sure there's no cat lurk, because it's so common for this player to sneak up and completely destroy. So we're really paying attention to where players are located on the minimap on defense, trying to roll call everyone on the enemy team like you're a high school teacher. There's Clove, there's Jet, Gecko, Cypher, Raze. Boom, everyone's here. This will help locate that missing player. Even if you see nothing, it's still great intel, right? If we push up A main here, we not only get rid of this lane, we tell ourselves it's not A. That means we and the entire team can prioritize the other lanes on the map, the other space, so you don't have to worry about it, this other nonsense. So obviously you wouldn't just walk up A main here. There's 3 different ways I decided would be good to do. So one is just a piece of ability, whether it's having a Gecko flash here or an Omen one way here, or like a Yoru who throws down his TP behind him and pushes up and just dry clears this because he has his TP to escape. And what you also see some teams do is do like a super aggressive play, or like one teammate just flashes the entire area, this person runs up. You'll find very quickly whether or not it's there, especially on eco rounds. You can open up very fast flanks and pinch plays where these 2 players pinch down mid. It creates very nasty plays very fast. Now, if we talk about attack, the goal is pretty much the exact same. You're trying to locate where people are, but it's going to be a bit more strategical. You're trying to find where the weak spots of the defenders are. So on Ascent, it's usually mid, usually pushing to these main contested areas where there's always a player or a smoke ready is not going to be your best benefit. So they do this by poking and prodding around the map, denying intel. Your goal on attack is to push where there's the least amount of players, either 1 or 0. An example is this: if you go mid, you can smoke bottom mid and then walk up cat with your entire team, and then you can find someone like a stupid Reyna main who's just sitting up here peeking cat 20 seconds into the round because they just want to fight. You kill them and now you're pushing into the 1 player on site. As an entire team, that's pretty easy to get control of the space, and it's pretty favorable for post plant. If done correctly, you'll either be in a 5v3 post plant, or you might get traded out and be 5v3. This goes for both sides as well, but I would say attack is more favorable, is keeping track of ults. What ults do we have available to clear and take site, and also like what ults does the enemy team have to retake site or counter our ult. This can be really helpful to predict and anticipate. For example, if Killjoy has her ult here, maybe we want to send a cat player late to stop her from getting in this position. Maybe that could be us because we don't trust our teammates. Or if our breach is ulting site, maybe that means something as simple as like we just throw a smoke here and we don't really need to use like a bunch of utility on site. Maybe if we're Sova, we can like dart heaven and make sure no one's pushing out heaven after everyone's ulted, and then we can just clear site. Or it could be mean as like Brim, we molly the smoke because that's the one area not affected by the ult, right? That's number 3. Number 4 is play aggressive when at a disadvantage, passive when at an advantage. I covered this more in depth in a seminar I did for subs. I'm just leaking it here, do not care. Basically, there's hard win conditions in Valorant, whether you have ults, whether you have numbers, whether you have an economic advantage. So I would just look to see which one we have. A lot of people know the rule of 2. If you're up by 2 players, you're on an advantage, so play passive. If you're down by 2, play aggressive. I'm a person who likes real examples. So let's say we get on site here and we're in a 2v4. This doesn't mean we sit on site and play passive. We want an aggressive option. So maybe after planting bomb, or even before planting bomb, we push into the smoke and try to path up heaven and get a heaven player. Then we can even out those odds to 2v3, maybe 2v2. And even if you lose, it'll be 1v4 and it was unwinnable anyways. Actually, let's change this. Let's pretend you're actually on the other team in the situation. You're playing a 4v2 retake, they just planted the bomb. You want to play more passive. What does this even mean? You just want safer options. So if you're with your teammate, you want to make sure you guys are grouped together, clearing stuff. You can also expect more aggressive options out of your teammates. So you might expect them to actually push through cat here. But you want to ensure who you're playing around and who you're playing with, or the decision you choose is more of a safe option. It'd be fine if all 4 players just went out heaven, right? Because you guys can collapse on site. And then if they end up coming through here, it doesn't really matter because you should have the intel with what we talked about in the previous tip to know that they're coming behind you. We haven't seen them here. We did the roll call, we killed Jet. There's only 2 options. He's either main or he's up heaven. Another example is on an eco round. I talked about this strat you do through here on an eco round. You do something crazy, which you also see people do a lot on ecos, is like go mid. It's the same thing. You take risk. You're at a disadvantage. So you gamble stack, you rush a site, you solo push a weird spot on the map. So a lot of people like to solo push extremities. Ascent's not a good example for this, but you might see this on something like Bind, where someone would walk down B lawn or walk through showers or just take a fight in showers and try to get a pick. It'd be the same exact thing if you're attacking as well. Pushing to the extremities. You're on an eco round, you want to do something crazy, you guys psycho push short, or you do like a pinch play through the TP with players from B. If your enemy's on an eco round, again, it's the exact opposite. You avoid the risk, you play more passive. You stick to your teammates in further back positioning. You don't want to give away your guns because that's exactly what the enemy team wants. So you would sit like bottom mid, and you would hold to see if they actually play aggressive here. If they have like a raise on bind, for example, you would probably play further back or take this red side just to avoid taking that fight. If you're going showers, you'd be very cautious of like when you do a Sova dart or a piece of utility to clear showers. One, you would make sure you do that in the first place, and two, you would check to see if it gets broken or contested, because then you can expect a fight there. Speaking of seminars though, we do these every single week, 4 live seminars led by me. We actually do 4 community coachings every single week. That is available on the Ko-Fi. You can find that linked in the description. This is our STD group. Help us spread the disease. Last but definitely not least is treating Valorant like a science experiment. You are meant to fail, adapt, and explore. It is the hardest thing I see students go through, and a lesson I'm still learning myself. By treating Valorant like a science experiment, it's not about any end result, it's about testing a theory. It's about trying something new. On this channel, we cover a lot of higher rated methods that are actually very simple once they're explained. How do you use intel to your advantage? What does the #1 Radiant actually think, and what does their decision making look like? How do you actually approach a space in the first place? What are the different pathings you can take? What are the angles you actually need to worry about? Where do you actually play on the site? These are all just to help you get an idea for things you can try out in your own game. There's no point in the video where I say, this is perfect. I put it in the title, you know what I mean, because it makes people click on it, but it's not really what we're trying to accomplish. You're trying to try new things and explore, and that's how you learn. Don't get too caught up in meta agents, making the perfect play, having the perfect setup, perfect lineup. You are a human being designed with perfect imperfections. So test and see what works for you, and then based on your experience, you can start to craft your own answer and thus your own playstyle. Ask yourself questions instead of in my Twitch chat, because I'm tired of answering how do I stop being inconsistent or how do I get better, like it's something I know of anything about. I'm just here to help you think like a Radiant. So don't get caught up in attaching who you are to your rank, how others treat you, and your performance. Ultimately, none of this really is you, and thus does not define you. Anyways, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Links to everything is down in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one.